Hello everybody, Jamie here from FMSCOUT. Have I got a tactic for you guys to try? Today's video is going to be about Knap's Black Echo, another undervalued tactic from our Knap's tactic table, as you can see on the screen. Make sure you visit the link in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But let's have a little talk about the Black Echo. Now, there are 11 variations with the Black Echo bundle. We have picked the one that we think is the best, but feel free to try the others out as well. Maybe one of these variations will be the hot stuff in a week or two. So let's have a little look at the tactic. So as you can see, it's a 4-2-3-1. And this one, a lot of people have been asking me for an Underdog Tactic, and this one is an Underdog Tactic. We are going to be doing this with Espanyol, and stick around for a little longer because you guys are not going to believe what we did with Espanyol. I am absolutely shocked, and I really think you should try this tactic out. So what's the reason that this is an Underdog Tactic? Now, the reason for this is, while it is still gegenpressing, you're wanting to win the balls back immediately with its high line of engagement and high defensive line. This fits players with lesser technical ability more, as they get more time, and it pulls the opponent from side to side when chasing the ball. It will make them tired before you strike. It has wingers, a shadow striker, and an advanced forward wanting to score, and the midfield trio gives both protection and a nice passing supplying the offensive unit. So you can see the team fluidity is structured. Your sweeper keeper, you've got a complete wing back, you've got two central defenders, another complete wing back. You play with a DLP and a box to box, which is one of the kind of the most popular two roles on FM. You've got a winger on the left, a winger on the right, a shadow striker, and an advanced forward. But let's have a little look at the instructions now. So it's an attacking mentality. While your in possession is slightly shorter passing, you can pass into space, play out defence, low crosses, run at defence, work ball into box, you overlap on the left, overlap on the right, and a much lower tempo. Now, a lot of people say Knap's tactics are all really high tempo. You guys have been asking me for something more of an underdog, and this is it. You can see the in transition is distribute to fullbacks, counter and counter press, while the out of possession, you've got a much higher defensive line, a much higher line of engagement, extremely urgent, prevent short goal kick distribution, get stuck in, use tighter marking, and use the offside trap. Now, another thing, let's have a look at the player instructions. So you've got pass it shorter on your complete wing back on the left, you've got shoot less often, close down more, and tackle harder, while on the right is the exact same, whereas your central defenders have pass it shorter and take fewer risks on both. Your sweeper keeper also has tackle harder and take fewer risks. Moving into the midfield now, the DLP has pass it shorter, dribble less, close down more, tackle harder, and mark tighter, while your box to box has pass it shorter, take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, tackle harder, and mark tighter. So be very wary of the yellow cards. You might need sufficient depth to cover this, because I'm assuming once we do the test after a year, we'll probably have the most yellow cards in the league. On the left hand side now for the winger, you've got pass it shorter, you've got shoot less often, tackle harder, and mark tighter. Your shadow striker doesn't have any instructions, player instructions. Your winger on the right hand side has the same as the left hand side, and the striker has take more risks. So yeah, that is the player instructions. And here we are a year on. You can see where we finished with Espanyol. We finished second on 90 points, 1 point behind Barcelona. We finished above Atletico Madrid. We finished above Real Madrid. We finished above Valencia. We had an amazing season, and I just want to show you how annoyed and frustrated I got with this tactic, because we literally, when we come on to the fixtures, I'll show you, but you can see we played 38, we won 29, we drawn 3, we lost 6, we had 89 goals. We scored the most goals in the league. And we're talking about teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid here, you know? And then we did concede 41, which you can see the difference between us and Barcelona and Real Madrid is much, much higher. But we had a goal difference of 48, and we finished on 90 points. But I want to show you the fixture list now, because there's some really interesting stuff in here. So let's talk about the start in the La Liga. You can see we started with 4 straight wins. Granada, Real Sociedad, Alaves, and Atletico Madrid we all beat. We did go on to Barcelona and lose. You can see we lost against Valencia. We had a kind of interesting draw here. But the main ones that you can see is right at the bottom. If we would have beat Atletico Madrid in the final game of the season, we would have won La Liga. Now, I was so frustrated. We went on a little run towards the end. And honestly, I was so annoyed that we lost that last game. I just couldn't believe it. We even beat Barcelona 2-0. We had some, like Real Madrid, we beat 4-3. We then beat them again, actually 3-0. So Real Madrid, they just couldn't beat us. And it was really crazy. Like I say, the big teams we was just beating. Sevilla, we beat 3-1. You can see Real Madrid again. You can see Valencia, we won 2-1. Athletic Club, we won 1-0. Honestly, it was probably the most fun I've had simming a tactic test. I think it was the fact that it was probably Espanyol, so, you know, not much was expected. But honestly, I was so shocked. Like 3-0 against Villarreal. But let's have a look how we did in European competitions now. If we go to the Europa League, we actually started, obviously we had to do the qualifiers, but we got to the group stage, Europa League Group D. We had a big win over LASK. Young Boys, we won 2-1 as well. We did get absolutely battered by Manchester United, 6-0. But we then drew to them 2-2, so it was starting to pick up really from November. You can see we won, and we did qualify for the knockout rounds. We did play Wolfsburg, and we won 2-0 both times. And then we did get... Man United was our arch nemesis, really, in this save. We just couldn't really do anything against them apart from that draw there. But it is Manchester United, on FM, that is. And you can see, like, we did really well, to be fair. But let's have a look at anything we did kind of in the domestic cups. So the Copa del Rey, we didn't do too well either. I mean, we won 12-0 against this team, who I'm assuming is a lower league Spanish team. We then won that one, but we did lose to Real Oviedo, who was in the second tier. So not the best thing for cup, but what we did in the league is it still shocks me to this day. I did this test like a week ago, and I still keep thinking about it, how much I want to do a second season. So I'm thinking about using the tactic again next season and just doing a little offline save for a season because, yeah, it really shocked me. So moving on to the squad now. So generally you can see kind of based on the appearances who kind of played. Now we did have a lot of injuries. You can see there was this kind of some players with 22, some players with 17. So we had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of cards, but the main goals kind of came from De Thomas, who was the shadow striker. This guy played at the shadow striker and scored 25 goals for me. Vargas, the winger, scored 22 goals. The striker was mainly Caleri, and he did score 22 goals in 40 appearances. And Wu Li was my right winger, and he scored 15 goals and 9 appearances. Now, I probably could have played Wu Li up front, but you know the way we did it, it was fine. Like I say, we finished second. So, and then in terms of the assists, we had 20 assists from our right back. So Courtier was playing at right back the whole season, and the guy had 20 assists. And Vargas, who was the left winger, had 17 assists as well. So really a good season for everybody involved. You can see the 6 assists coming from all over the pitch. The midfield, though I did notice the midfield wasn't that influential really. I mean, Mark Roker, he only made 7 goals and 8 assists, while the other central midfielder, where is he? Dada, he had 8 goals and 6 assists. So it seems like a tactic where most of it kind of comes through, like goal-wise anyway, comes through the wing-backs and the wingers. They had the most influence on this tactic. Just a little look at the player stats now, and you can see we didn't really do much in terms of goals or average ratings. And assists, we finished second. I mean, it just came behind Lionel Messi, which, when you look at that, is pretty crazy. But yellow cards, we was the highest on the yellow cards. But let's have a little look now at a few more in-depth stats to find how we finished second. So average possession in the entire league, we finished 4th. We had more possession through the entire season than Real Madrid. And you can see Barcelona, Sevilla and Real Sociedad did finish above us. But we had 55% possession throughout the entire season. That is pretty impressive. I did predict that we would be the top on the yellow cards, and we did get 98 yellow cards, which is a big difference from the second team. So if you do plan on using this tactic, make sure you've got the sufficient depth covering anyone who gets suspended. Though the stat I am most impressed about is the amount of goals we scored with the options that we had. Now, they wasn't the best players. RCD Espanyol, they was predicted to finish 10th. So, you know, there's a lot of big clubs in Spain, as you all know. And for the fact that we scored 89 goals in 38 matches, it blows me away. Our cross-completion ratio was at 23%, with the highest being Valencia at 27. So a really good one, higher than Barcelona and higher than Real Madrid. Another one that impresses me is the crosses completed was at 385. Now, that's a really important one when I was just talking about the wing-backs and the wingers being very influential in this tactic. And you can see the amount of crosses they completed, maybe to the shadow striker or to the striker, puts us on 385 at first, above, again, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Real Madrid. And we did score 12 goals from corners, so this will have a corner tactic. So make sure you check that out if you do want to make any tweaks, but I wouldn't, because we did score 12 goals from corners this season. Now, the only downside was really our pass completion ratio. Because we was doing a lot of slower passing, I guess that's why we kind of finished 16th, where Barcelona was at the top on 91, but 81% for us in terms of pass completion. But we did complete 19,713 passes. Now, that, again, is impressive when you're playing in a league with Barcelona, who like to do the tiki-taka style. And yeah, again, another stat that really shocked me. We had 145 chances created this season, which was, 40 more than Barcelona. And it's really shocked me. I don't know if you can tell with my tone of my voice, but I just couldn't believe that we did this. And you can see the shots on target as well. We were on 397 shots on target. And to do this with Espanyol, you guys must realise that this is crazy. And I want to show you one thing at the end of the video, just to show you the game status, that it wasn't saved and reloaded and stuff like that. But the fouls made, 593. I was right in terms of the fouls. But if I just show you my game status for this season, if I go to game status, you can see it was only saved 6 times. Now, I posted in the Discord to the guys, Robert and RDF, just to show them this. And I was aware of a bug that when you go to a game and leave the tactic screen, the instant result button disappears. So you have to save and then reload before you play the game, of course. But I figured a way out now that where that doesn't disappear. So that's where the 6 saves have come from. There's like 38 games to only save it 6 times. You guys must realise. And to be honest, one of them is the start of the save when you actually load it. So, and I always save it right before the start of the season. But yeah, only save 6 times. So just to show you that. But no, incredible season. Very, very happy. And that's been the end to the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please just do let me know in the comments if you plan on giving this a go, because I want to know your guys' success stories with this. But it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.